Hello everybody and welcome back to Author Journey. My name is CJ Anaya. Today we're going to talk about AMS ads. We're going to talk about different ways that you can get keywords, but I'm also going to show you how to set up your own Amazon ad and how you can use those keywords and just kind of give you an idea of how you can tweak the keywords and the bids. So it's kind of going to be a lot, but hopefully it will give you some pointers as to how you could start this process. One thing that I've discussed when it comes to getting keywords and doing your research is Kdp Rocket. I love that. It's great. It's an avenue where I can look at different categories and research different terms, and I enjoy it very much. Something else that I want you to look at that has been really fun for me to play with and to discover new books and new categories is this website called YASIV.com. You just plug this in, they're going to make you do that. Hey, I'm not a robot, yay. And what you actually do is you search yourself or you search one of your books. So I'm just going to type in CJ Anaya and show you what happens when I pull that up. Okay, so right now what it's doing is it's taking a look at Amazon's ecosystem, I guess you could say, according to your books. So they found 81 products that are linked to my books. This is kind of a way of looking at your also bots. So people who have bought My Fair Princess, people who have bought the Healer series, these are also the same people who are going and buying Queen of the Fae, Dragon's Gift, the Dark Fae book. So these are all new books that I didn't really know about that are great search terms that I can link to. So some of these authors I didn't even consider. So let's click on this one. Okay, so my books, anyone who's bought my books has also bought this book. So it's kind of showing you the breakdown of how people have bought them and how they found my books or what books are helping people to find my books, okay? So if you look at this is Lindsay Hall, and she's someone that I hadn't ever tried to use as a search term. Not on BookBub, not on Facebook, although I doubt I could find her as a search term on Facebook ads because you have to be so broad with your search terms on there. But for AMS ads, this is the perfect author to target. And then Trial by Fae. I write a lot of fairy romance, My Fair Assassin, that entire series. It's a lot, Allies of the Fae Realm. So this is perfect for me. I should be targeting these people in my ads. So this is a great keyword phrase that I can use. The Dark Fae book 1, I can use that. I can use Dragon's Gift, Trial by Fae. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to show you how fun this is. Because when you go and when you kind of go back and forth and look at all of these books and really do your research, you can kind of scroll down here. And the first thing I like to do is take a look at the categories that these books are under. Oh, this is taking its sweet time. I'm sorry, my computer has struggled. So humorous fantasy, I'd never even considered putting my books under that particular subgenre. I didn't even know it existed, to be honest with you. Especially when you're doing KDP, the genres they let you have when you're clicking, you only get 2 to choose from when you're publishing. And a lot of these subgenres are not listed. So it's nice because if you feel like you could score a little bit higher, get ranked a little bit higher in humorous fantasy, I think romantic fantasy is a little bit broad. Myth and legend fantasy ebooks, that would be great. So you can find really cool categories to search. You can always take a look at their blurbs as well. So Fated Mate, that's a great search term that I've already found. Powerful Fae King, that's pretty great. Dragon Bloods. Sexy Fae King. So you just Fae Court, that would be a good keyword. So you can go through the blurbs and see what kind of things you can pick up through all of these books that are linked to your book and create really great ads based on all of this keyword research. So it is a little time consuming, but it is well worth it because when you do that, let's see, I'm going to close this. When you do that, it really helps you target specifically the types of books and the types of audiences that like your specific book. So you see all of this material, and I've already gone through all of this just under the name CJ Anaya. I already did all of the searching, looked at all of these books. There's even a few new ones that have shown up. I didn't even look at that one. The New Girl Shifter Academy, I think that's a new one that I hadn't noticed before. First Howling, I definitely didn't notice that one. So that's kind of fun. So in all of this urban fantasy, paranormal, romance stuff, my books are linked to all of these other books, and there are a lot of different authors and people that I can look at. So when you come here and you search this, you can either search by your own author name or by books that you've already published. So I'm just going to type in My Fair Assassin and see if I get different results, because sometimes you do. Okay, so it's searching. Oh, it found a lot more, because I think before it was just 81. It's finding a lot of products. That's weird, changing the script. See, and sometimes you'll be really surprised by some of the books, because you have to remember that most people like different genres. They like to read mystery and they like to read urban fantasy. And so what you'll find is that books and authors and search terms that you never would have targeted before, you actually start targeting, because what is this long line running from? Hold please, scrolling over. Okay, so that's fun. So the Steel Dragon, I never would have thought of that before. I'm gonna keep going over here because this long line is pointing towards this book. What is this book? Techromancy Scrolls. Interesting. So whoever bought My Fair Assassin went and immediately bought Techromancy Scrolls. I don't even know what that is, but it would be cool to take a look at it and see what kind of search terms we find. LGBT fantasy fiction. Okay, I don't have any LGBT in my books, but again, people who like urban fantasy like all sorts of different subjects, different tropes, different genres. So we've got lesbian fiction, LGBT fantasy. I probably wouldn't use any of these because these wouldn't actually, it would be false advertising. This wouldn't actually be that. But it's good to know that people who are reading my books are also reading these other books. So you kind of get a feel for your market and your audience and the different things that they are buying. And it wouldn't hurt me to put his name in there and see if it gets me any clicks in the keywords. So that's not a bad idea. It's just, yeah. Oh, and here's a fun one. I never would have, done Unleashed. That looks cute. Case of the Yorkshire Pudding. So sometimes you can actually link your books to different genres just because you know that different people are buying your books and then going to these other places. So it's crazy the kind of things that you will find, the different categories you'll find, and the new people you'll cultivate from different audiences just by doing this. This is fun because I have the box set here, and so you can take a look at all these other box sets. And sometimes it's multi-author box sets, which in my opinion is just gold, because then you've got tons of authors that you found that you can target. So this would be a good keyword search term or phrase. Blood magic, you could use that. Let's see, again, my computer's struggling. Here we go. Humorous fantasy, we've already looked at that. New adult and college fantasy, books, new adult and college fantasy Kindle store, so there's different kinds. And for those of you who weren't aware, you can call Amazon and you can have them put your books under up to 10 categories. So really do research all of these categories and find different ones that you've never found before. Sometimes all it takes to boost your ratings and your sales is to get your books into different categories so that different audiences are finding you. So that's something fun that you can look at. I'm going to try to find a different category entirely just to see. Oh, I think this is new. I did not see this one the last time that I was looking. And what's great about this is with YASIV, it's always changing, so you can always come back. So look at this category, New Age. I don't know why my computer does this. I apologize. I'm going to go up here. Okay, so New Age. This one is a #1 bestseller, New Age Divination with Tarot. I've never heard of that subgenre before, but I might play around with it, especially if it's a newer subgenre or newer category and there isn't a lot of competition. I could always use that. Cat is heir to a brutal empire. That could be a keyword phrase. You could check it out. And that's what's nice about having Kdp Rocket too, is you can actually take these phrases and type them into Kdp Rocket, and they'll give you the competition rating and kind of the ranking of it as to whether or not it would be a good one to use. So this is why it's really fun to just kind of put that all together. You'll love this coming of age epic, hidden magic, adventure, forbidden love. These are all keywords, okay? It's fun to go through all these blurbs. I know I'm weird. I really enjoy this kind of market research. Some of you may be like, oh, I don't really like it at all. Okay, this is interesting. Teen and young adult death nonfiction ebooks. That's interesting that they put it under nonfiction. Religious science fiction and fantasy. I've never even heard of religious science fiction and fantasy. But I think that's really interesting. They've got fiction here and then nonfiction here, because clearly it's not nonfiction, but it does deal with themes of death, and maybe that's something that would appeal to that particular category. So I think that what you need to do is come here, see what your ecosystem is like, do a search by your author name, and then do searches by each book, because you're going to come up with different books and different products that you're being linked to. And these are all things that will help you come up with your keyword research terms that you can then put in a spreadsheet, and then you're going to copy and paste them into your Amazon ad. Okay, so here is my Kindle Direct Publishing account. For those of you who don't know how to even get to the advertising, the easiest way to do things is to click Promote and Advertise, just an example. You can also type in advertise.amazon. Is it advertise.amazon.com? I think so. It'll show up in a minute, but you just scroll down here, and this is something new that has recently happened. Not only can you advertise on Amazon.com, you can advertise in the UK on Amazon, and you can advertise in Germany on Amazon, okay? So I've actually started playing in the UK just a little bit. I only have 2 ads in there right now because it's so new, but I really wanted to start targeting the UK market and see where that took me. So I did my YASIV keyword homework and created a couple of ads for the Healer series and Paranormal Misfits series. Now, when you choose your campaign, I have not done a lot with lock screen ads. I've just done the sponsored products. So you're gonna click on that, click on continue. And then you just name your campaign, whatever you want. For me, I don't ever turn my ads off. I will lower the ad budget if I need to, but these ads are collecting data and they're helping me figure out what I want to do. So I just leave the start date. I don't add an end date. You absolutely can. I just don't recommend it. Even if you've only got $5 a day for your budget, just do one ad and do that. Just focus on that and gather all the intel you need to see what keywords are being clicked on, how much you're having to spend on all of them, what's really working. So I'd put maybe $5 here. It says automatic targeting, but what you want to click is manual targeting, okay? For this, what will happen is it will automatically lower your bids in real time if your ad is less likely to convert a sale. And then it will go up or down. So they'll raise your bid in real time when your ad may be more likely to convert a sale, or it'll lower your bid when it's less likely. And then they do fixed bids. I usually keep it at dynamic bids down. I don't generally allow them to just up my bids or whenever they want to. And fixed bids mean that they're going to charge you exactly that fixed bid. And I would much rather, say that I'm bidding 65 cents on a keyword, but if it's only 35 cents, be charged the 35 cents rather than the fixed rate that I have of 65 cents. And you'll see what I mean as we continue forward with this. Do custom text so that you can really create a good ad copy for your ad. And then this is already selected because we clicked on this from my KDP account specifically on this book. But if you didn't, if you just typed in advertising.amazon.com, then you need to come here and search for the book that you wanted to do, okay? Okay, so keyword targeting is what we're going to do. We could do product targeting, but I like keyword targeting better. It makes more sense to me. And then what you're going to do is enter your list. So this YASIV keyword list that we made, that we put in a spreadsheet, we're going to copy it and we're going to paste it in here. And what you want to do is avoid the broad or the void exact phrase and put broad, because when people are searching things, they may not exactly search the exact search term that you have, but if it's close enough, you want to be able to get in on the action, because not everybody's going to spell the author's name right, or not everybody is going to know the exact name of the series or the exact name of the book. So if it's close enough, then that's kind of what you want. And so you will enter all of that keyword research in here. You'll scroll down, you'll hit add keywords, and then they will pop up over here. So let's do that right now. Add keywords. And then this is actually really new, because originally they would just do a standard bid rate for everything. And if you wanted to go in and fix it, you could, which I liked better, because this way, I don't like the way they have this. What they do is any data they actually have as to what the bid rate for this particular name is, they'll already put there. But if they don't really have any data for a Demons of Fire and Night novel, because it's just so broad, then that means you need to actually put in how much you're willing to bid for this particular keyword. So that can get time consuming. It's not my favorite change that Amazon has made to their ads, because originally it was just all done for you and then you could go in and tweak later. But what I would do is I would just start out with like 41 cents. It's saying the default bid is 75 cents. You really don't need to go that high, because what you'll find is you're going to create your ad. You're going to leave it for a couple of weeks so that it can, get the data that it needs. Then you're going to go back in, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. You're going to go back in and look at what has been getting you sales. See what hasn't been getting clicks, because if it hasn't been getting clicks, then maybe you need to up the bid or possibly lower the bid. So for now, you just want to stick around 35, 45 cents, 41 cents. It's usually better to just go 41 or 51 or 53 instead of by 5, since everybody does 5s. And just so that you'll have a better shot at competing and getting that search term. And then you'll just scroll down and enter all the ones that you need to. Good glory, they have like hardly any information on any of these. That's really annoying and a lot of work, but it's worth it in the long run. I'm just kind of annoyed, Amazon, with the way you did this. It's fine. Okay, scrolling down here, you don't need to worry about the negative keyword targeting at this moment. You've got 150 characters to put just your ad copy. My suggestion, you want to take the tropes that you have. So for My Fair Assassin, I say a warrior prince meets his fated mate on assignment, or something like that. Or a warrior prince meets a snarky teen who would be queen, and now he has to kill his fated mate. Something snappy like that, so that you're leaving them with a question. Is he going to get his love? Will he really have to kill his fated mate? It's got keywords in it. We know who the two main characters are, or who the main character is. We know what the conflict is. We know what the goal is, if that makes sense. So you need to get main character, conflict, goal, kind of that remaining question that will prompt people to read it, okay? That's kind of an idea of how you can do your ad copy. So once you've got all that ad copy in, once you've done the keywords, then you're just gonna hit launch campaign. It'll take about a day for it to go, and then it will start collecting data. I never say that right. Once you've launched your campaign, it's had 2 weeks to collect data, then you're gonna go into that campaign and you're gonna go to targeting, and you're going to scroll down, and you're going to start looking at the keywords you have. Come on. There we go. Move over. And you're going to take a look. You could start at first with, what has gotten you sales. So just click on that. Click on it one more time. Oh, make sure that you don't do the date for just one day. Should actually have like a couple months here. Hello, it's fine. Okay, so we'll just go back there all the way to today, shall we? Save. Okay, so if we look at sales, I don't look at this ACOS because it would really freak me out, because a lot of the sales that I get actually come from page reads, and there's absolutely no way to track it with this. The only way that I can track anything is just sales. I know how many books I've sold, not how many pages have been read according to Kindle Unlimited. And since I make probably about 75% of my income from KU, I don't worry about this too much. I just take a look at my ad spend and my profit to know whether or not I'm hitting things right. And I do that with reader links. And I've shown reader links to you guys in a different video. So if you haven't seen that, go back to the video about reader links that will help you track your page reads and track your sales so that you'll know based on what you're spending every day if you're actually making anything back, okay? So I want you to take a look at the impressions. And I'm just going to click impressions. I'm going to click it one more time just so that I can get the keywords that are getting the highest impressions, and then you want to take it clicks. So the rule of thumb is you want at least 1 click per 1,000 impressions. I would say 105 clicks per 54,000 is pretty good, okay? And that's gotten me a sale, so that's a good, paranormal romance is a good one to have. Problem is it's a little pricey, honestly, but that's okay because I'm still getting all the clicks I want and all the impressions I want. So that's been very, very helpful. And so you will just take a look at each one. The Mermaid, I have that at 77 cents. That's 30,000 and then only 18 clicks, so it really should be more than that. So what I need to do is probably either up the bid because they're suggesting 77 cents or just take it out altogether because this should be at least 30 or 31 clicks and that's not what I'm seeing over time. So either the bid is too low or it's just not a keyword that's working for me. So what I can do is if I really want to pay more, I can see what the suggested bid is. It's between 55 and 133. And so they, are saying do 77, did that, it's not working, maybe I could try 99 cents and see if that works. But honestly, and a lot of people are gonna freak out because the goal is really to get the cost per click down, but the difference between that and Facebook is yes, you want the cost per click down, but what you're finding is that people on AMS ads are already there on Amazon. The people who are seeing the AMS ads, they're already there on Amazon to buy a book. They're already searching for the next book. People on Facebook are not necessarily searching to buy a book. So the conversion rates are a little easier with AMS simply because people are already on Amazon ready to buy books and the cost per click is worth it to me because I already know what my read through is, how much I get when people are reading my entire series and what I'm getting when it comes to page reads. So I'm going to experiment with this one just because it has gotten quite a few impressions and good clicks. Maybe it will get more depending on upping the bid and maybe I'll find some more people that way. So Quinn Loftus, that's a good author for me. It looks like I'm getting a lot of clicks for her at a cost average of 55 cents actually. So this is what I'm actually spending. This is what I said I would spend and that's what I'm actually spending on cost per click. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down a little more. Faded, that's a good search term for me. And I'm only actually paying 57 cents for that. I'm getting 29 clicks. That's great because out of the 14,000 impressions, that's exactly what I want to see. I'm going to come down here. This one got me a sale. So this is Beauty and the Beast. I found that really interesting. The search term Beauty and the Beast has actually been a really good one for me. It seems to be something that people search and then they find my book and buy it, which I think is interesting. So that's good clicks right there, good impressions right there. Spent about $17. It says I only earned $7.99, but again, that doesn't count all of the page reads and the borrows from people. So I will probably just leave this as is. And what you want to do when you scroll down and you find places where you could see improvement, see after all these months, the keyword fighter, it really isn't doing me any good. I've got 4 clicks, but I've got over 7,000 impressions. I should have at least 8 clicks by now. I've already upped the bid enough. I could go to $1.12, but I don't see any point in doing that. So what I'm going to do is just turn that off. That's not working for me. I'm going to turn that one off and not have it on, and then try to divert my funds to some other search term that's going to be more applicable for me. So this is a good ratio, 14 clicks for 7,500 impressions. And then I'm just gonna scroll down a little more. I might consider fixing this. I like Karen Lynch, but I've already upped the bid a bit and it's just a little bit lower. I might actually go back to it. This is a great one. K.M. Shea, she's always been a great one for me. That's gotten me a sale, 24 impressions or 24 clicks. So that's a good one. I wouldn't want to mess with it, especially because I'm actually paying less than what I'm bidding. So you see that, 65 cents, 77 cents. So what you would do, and be kind to yourself, make sure that when you make these ads, it's about 300 keywords and not 1,000 as they suggest, because then you would have to go in and tweak 1,000 little keywords and their bids and study all of those. And it's time consuming. You really have to love the data and the process and tweaking things in order to do ads where there's about 1,000 keywords. It's just crazy. So I try to be kind to myself and stick to about 300 words per ad, so that as I'm scrolling down and trying to figure out what's working and what isn't, I don't have to spend hours upon hours on just fixing one ad and knocking out all of the search terms that aren't working for that ad and keeping the ones that are. So just pay special attention to that, okay? And then if you get something that isn't even, I'm going to scroll down here. If you get, let's go forward. Actually, this is actually my top 100 keywords. These are all search terms that had actually gotten me something before, gotten me sales before, and I just threw them all together to see what would happen, see what would stick. So if you are getting search terms, I actually turned all of these off because they weren't working for me, that aren't getting you enough impressions or enough clicks, not getting you anything, then what you want to do is just check and see if your bid is too low. A lot of times if you're getting no data, nothing is showing up, usually your bid is too low. For example, they're suggesting 45 cents. If I had actually put 32 cents right here and wasn't seeing any activity, then I would know that I need to up the bid on that. So that's just an example of how you would know you should up the bid, is if there's nothing happening here and you're seeing a suggestion of, hey, this is what people are bidding for this keyword. If you've got no activity in this, then I would up the bid just to see what happens, just to see if you get more clicks, just to see if you get more impressions. And then let it ride. Once you've kind of tweaked that ad, let it ride for another week or two, go back to it, check the data. Some people are really checking it every day. I find that that is just a waste of time. You need to work smarter and not harder. You need to give it time to collect the data it needs after you've made the changes you've made to see how that's rolling out and what that is doing and how it affects you. It takes time to figure those things out with Amazon ads because they take such a long time reporting things. So that is kind of a mishmashed idea of how you can research keyword terms in a very cool visualized way, how you can collate them, put them in a spreadsheet, and then create an ad, let it ride. Okay, and then once you've done that, come in here and start tweaking your bids. If you have any questions about this, feel free to email me. My email is in the description below, okay? Because I do love answering questions, and I can certainly help you with any of that. I hope this was helpful. Please like the video if you thought it was. Please be sure to share it with others if you think it will help them. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.